Hey guys, Arcade Adam back with another video, and in this one today it's going to be a quick one. I found a really cool game. It's an old game, but kind of like a repackaging. So maybe you guys are familiar with Midway games like Off-Road Thunder. So that game was released in the arcade, and then it's repackaged and re-released in a package called Midway Arcade Treasures 3. Which is pretty cool. So it was a PC release around 2005, 2006, I believe. And it's got some neat things because someone, I will link the forum post down below, but basically someone took it upon themselves to take that game and then go from a keyboard input to full racing simulator analog input. So they hacked it to accept analog input. And on top of that, you can change the resolution. So I'm going to show you real quick. We're going to start up a game, and I'm going to fire it up in its original configuration, and then hopefully on camera without any issues it'll play nice when I max it out to over 1080p resolution. So here we go.
Where you want to race?
Alright guys, had a little issue getting it loaded, but now obviously we're there. So this is the game in its original resolution. So this is just as you got it from Midway or the arcade, no up-res. Just want to show you that.
Double barrel! What bad omen! Sticker on the pen! Start your engine! 3, 2, 1, go!
Do a barrel roll! I swear I didn't try to do that. But it was the kind of cool way I did it on the food. Thumbs up for the barrel roll. Oh, this game is awesome. Highly recommend you guys check this out. I was never fortunate enough to find this in the arcades growing up. Dang. I wish this worked for multiplayer right now. Come on, man. Barrel rolls gag is getting old. This is final lap. Come on. Oh, it was. Wow.
2 points champ.
Second's pretty good. So there you go, guys. That's the original. You can kind of see it's not too hazy or whatever. Now let me show you the up-res version. Here we go. So we're going to use an application called dgVoodoo. I'm going to fire that up. We're going to say DirectX, and we're going to uncheck the disable button. Hit apply. Okay. And let's fire it up again and see what we get. Oops, not that. That's the config. We need the game. There we go. Hey, I'll take it. You guys can see the whole thing. Okay, what we were saying is now it's not going to look the same in the menus. It's still what it is, but once we get in the game,
OffRoad Thunder!
it's going to be higher
What you wanna
resolution.
play? Rally. Where you want to race?
Keyboard. We'll go to the easy mode.
Double barrel. What you want to ride? Bad omen. Stick on the pedal.
Let's see what we
Start
can do.
your engine. 3,
Oh, that's satisfying.
2, 1, go!
Check out the resolution compared to the old game, which hopefully recorded. Second, almost. Well, now you can see the difference. Like, menu's the same, but in the game, sharp. That's all I really had for you guys, but I think now if you want to stick around and know how to do this, let's jump back onto the desktop. So let's see if my recording software is going to play nice. We'll move this back over there. There we go. Okay, you guys should be able to see that. So what is this dgVoodoo application? Basically, when you download it, it's got these are the root files. So you kind of have to know one thing about your game. You have to know whether it's DirectX or Glide, or the old 3DFX standard. So this would be the Glide DLLs. And I think you just need to Google that. There's not really an easy way to know unless you already know your game, if it's like your favorite game and you grew up with it, that kind of thing. But these re-releases of these arcade games are hard to tell. Like, it was just done by some random studio. Midway put their sticker on it and said, here you go. So I think just with a little bit of Googling, and then the only other thing is you need to know if it's 64-bit or 32-bit, x86. Again, Google machine, you know, the older the game, the more likely it's 32-bit, etc. So anyway, once you figure that out, you copy these files, and then the, so in this case, it was DirectX, and you take all of the DirectX files for 32-bit, and you copy them in the game. So let's go back to the game. There we go. And so let's launch the Voodoo application. And then stock out of the box, there's something I recommend you turn on. There is a apply watermark. This dgVoodoo watermark, you guys see that? This lets you know the game is running with your settings. Because at the beginning, before you change any of this stuff, it's going to look the same. And this just lets you know that dgVoodoo is working. It just hasn't up-resed or upscaled anything yet. Because a lot of times when you turn this stuff on or change something, the game will just crash and it won't load. So you got to back it off or try a different one or try a different setting. So back to the beginning. What I did for this game is I went to a windowed appearance. I left scaling mode unspecified. That's default. I think the rest of these options I left default. You really don't want to mess with this stuff unless it doesn't work. So I was getting it where it wasn't launching. It was crashing immediately on open. So I just, by chance, went from full screen to windowed, because sometimes that helps with the older games. And then because it's a DirectX game, you come over here to the DirectX tab. And I left the video card alone. That's default. The amount of RAM's default. What I did, excuse me, is I maxed out the filtering to anisotropic 16x, and then I was playing with the resolution. You can do 1920 by 1080 and it'll actually stretch the game, but I like to keep things in their original aspect ratio. So what if you hover over here, it'll tell you what all this stuff is. So max QHD ISF is basically max available resolution, and then there's ISF, I believe, pertains to the integer scaling of how it actually scales up the game, if I'm not mistaken. And you, like I said, just play with it. If max, so the first thing you should do is like max QHD, and then see if that works, and then ISF, that, you know, and then also what looks good to you. So what works, and then okay, it works. Well, then try for a little bit more. And if you know you've got a 4:3 resolution and it's listed here, and that's what you were shooting for, pick that one. And the only other thing I did was I maxed out the anti-aliasing, and I went all the way to 8x, and I believe app-driven is default. So you kind of just want to shoot for the moon and see if it works, and if it doesn't, start backing things off a little bit. I didn't notice any tearing, so I didn't force VSync. Like I said, I turned the watermark on while I was troubleshooting, and you just got to remember to hit apply and OK, and now your game is from 2006, is an original arcade port, and looks kind of eh. You're still using the original textures, but your resolution is a 4x increase, and the game just looks that much better, in my opinion. You know, some people may not like the shiny new coat of paint effect that happens to these games, but when you're dealing with a modern monitor like this, and you're sitting this close to it, I think it really helps, and I just wanted to show you guys that. So there's a lot of games that you could do that to. The next one I was gonna try is Hydro Thunder. There's a lot of PC versions of Hydro Thunder that I think might benefit from a treatment like this. So that's all I had for you guys. Do me a favor, please get me to 1,000 subs. We're so close. You guys got me up to 850. I'm so thankful for that. I really want to try streaming on YouTube. I've got this new funky layout thing that I'm playing with. Let me know in the comments below if you think that's a good idea. Also, let me know what you think of this. Like, do you want to mess with originals, or do you keep them how they came stock and how you remember them? But yeah, thanks. I just want to say thanks again, guys. Thanks for getting me to the 850 mark on subscribers. Love to get to 1,000. Share this with your friends. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.